We're going to start with a look at a video from Statman Dave. Statman Dave is a YouTuber who makes analysis videos for football. As always, there is a link to both this particular video and his YouTube channel in the description below. So after you've watched this, make sure you go and check out his channel. This is a video of Monsieur Dave discussing Roberto De Zerbi, the current head coach over at Brighton in the Premier League. As always, we'll watch the full snippet and then I will take you through some of the vocabulary. So here we go.
Boxes are becoming more popular in modern football as teams evolve from single pivot structures, but we've mostly seen them used to overload the midfield. Generally, they overload the first line of pressure, which creates problems for the opposition. If they continue with the same pressing structure, the box will easily play around the pressure. But if they commit more players to the press, space is created in the advanced areas that can be exploited by the attackers. Brighton's back six is crucial to De Zerbi's philosophy, and it goes hand in hand with the players at the club, as dynamic wingers, Mitoma and March, thrive when given this kind of space to play in, whilst the likes of Lewis Dunk, Pascal Gross, Moises Caicedo and Alexis McAllister all have the quality to play through pressure. This build-up shape means that if the opposition match Brighton's deep box, they have to commit 4 players to the press to go man for man with the 2 centre-backs and 2 midfielders. The problem here is that De Zerbi has ways to combat this disruption. The goalkeeper gets involved in the build-up and can split the centre-backs, creating a 3-4 that separates the pressers. The striker or the attacking midfielder can drop in to overload this area. A fullback, often the right back, will invert, creating an out ball and a new passing angle that can be used to progress the play. Because of the narrowness of the box, space is often left out wide, which means Brighton can also play wide to the fullback and look to progress through the wide areas. And finally, they can always go direct to the forwards, either hitting flat passes into attacking midfield or playing diagonal switches into the wingers. But we've mostly seen them used to overload the midfield.
Alright, so overload. I'm sure we've talked about this one before. To overload an area of the pitch just means to have more players in a particular area than your opponent. So for example, if your team has 4 players in the midfield and the opponent has 5 players in the midfield, you can say your opponent has overloaded the midfield. Another way of saying this is to create an overload or to create a numerical superiority.
Generally, they overload the first line of pressure.
The first line of pressure, so this is the phrase we use to speak about the attacking players from a team when they are not in possession. So usually, if your team is building up, if you're in your defensive third, and the other team has, we'll say, a striker and 2 wingers, and they are putting pressure on you, they are pressing you, this is the first line of pressure. If you are a coach, an analyst, or anyone working in the world of football, and you think that your English might be a problem for your career, then don't forget that you can download my free ebook, Speak Fluent Football. It goes over the 3 keys you need to improve your English so that you can work in an English-speaking environment. Click the link in the description below to get it today.
But if they commit more players to the press,
commit players to something means to have players focused or concentrated on a particular action. So if we go back to the example of the first line of pressure, the striker and the 2 wingers, they are committed to pressing you, or they're committed to pressing the opposing team. It's important to note that if you are committed to something, it means you can't do something else. So an example outside of football, we would say when you get married, you are committed to your wife or committed to your husband. You can't have a relationship with another woman or another man, or at least you should not. It's very bad. It's the same thing in football. If players are committed to doing something, they can't do another action.
space is created in the advanced areas that can be exploited by the attackers.
So when you're talking about space on the football field, there's 2 key words that you'll hear or use a lot. One is create. You create space, or space is created. This just means an area of the pitch, there's a lot of players around, there is no space. You pass the ball in a particular way, you move the ball in a particular way, and then there is space. So you created space. Once you have created the space, you want to dribble into the space, run into the space, pass into the space. Any action that uses the space for your advantage, we say you exploit the space. Be careful, we say exploit, not explore space. Elon Musk and astronauts explore space. Footballers do not.
Brighton's back six is crucial to De Zerbi's philosophy, and it goes hand in hand with the players at the club.
Go hand in hand. When two things go hand in hand, it means they are very often, perhaps always, together. So an example outside of football, if you go to the cinema, if you go to see a movie, you very likely want to get a box of popcorn, because a trip to the cinema and a box of popcorn go hand in hand. They are often together.
Problem here is that De Zerbi has ways to combat this disruption.
Combat literally means fight, but we use it a lot when we talk about tactics and strategy. So for example, if your team is up against an opponent that likes to play a lot of possession, a lot of quick passing, and they commit a lot of players into their attack, and they have a very high line, then you might combat this strategy with quick counter attacks and long balls over the top.
The striker or the attacking midfielder can drop in to overload this area.
Drop in, you can see in the video basically what it means, but you've got the striker who moves back into a position closer to his own goal. This is basically what it means. When your position moves back towards your own goal, you drop in.
Or playing diagonal switches into the wingers.
Finally, a switch is short for a switch of play. So if you have the ball on the right wing and you cross over to the left wing, this is a switch of play, but you might hear people shorten it to a switch and say something like hit a switch or make a switch. Alright, so that was the video from Statman Dave. Again, go check out his YouTube channel. The link is in the description below. You'll learn a lot about English and about football.